The aim of the research was to test a brief health psychology intervention in an applied setting. In our case, in a further education college undergoing a downsizing procedure in order to test whether we could reduce stressful effects in employees. Work-related stress is a big problem in the UK and across the world. It's ever an increasing problem and leads to a huge cost for organisations in terms of employee welfare, sickness, etc. It's particularly problematic during a recession or difficult financial times where organisations have to tighten their belts, and this often leads to, unfortunately, employee layoffs. While the implications for the employees that lose their jobs is obvious, there is an implicit stress demand for people that remain in the organisation, and this exacerbates the existing work-related stress problems. We wanted to test the intervention in an applied setting, undergoing a downsizing procedure. What we did then is we recruited employees of a further education college in the north of England, asked them to be involved. We randomly allocated approximately half of the participants to an experimental group who received the intervention, which was called the work-related self-affirming implementation intention. The other half, the control, received an equivalent control intervention. We tested anxiety and stress outcomes before and after the intervention, and we followed up 3 weeks later. Self-affirming implementation intentions are a combination of two previously used interventions in the health psychology field. Self-affirming is when people are asked to think about the things that they cherish, things that they value, things that they've succeeded in. And it's been found that this can bolster people's self-image and therefore increase or decrease the defensiveness when they're faced with a threat, for example, job loss. We combine that with implementation intentions, which are if-then plans. So people in our intervention are asked to make if-then plans, a plan with themselves. If they are met with a certain situation, in our case, anxiety at work, then they make a plan to self-affirm, think about things that they value or cherish or have succeeded in. The results were that post-intervention in the intervention group, those that received the self-affirming implementation intention, immediately reduced anxiety. At a follow-up 3 weeks later, we found that that was carried over and that job-related anxiety was also decreased compared with the control group. The implications for companies going through downsizing are that they could possibly integrate brief health psychology interventions like ours into existing organisational practices in order to buffer the effects of downsizing on stress within their employee groups. The next stage for our research is testing the reliability, validity and usability of the brief intervention that we developed. We are thinking of testing this in a variety of high-stress organisations or sectors like health, education, and even in sectors where there might be an added benefit, for example in safety-critical industries, where we might be able to improve well-being but also decrease accident incidents.